There's a trail of blood.
Fresh meat crawling in from the fog. Don't care if it's Mirelurk or man.
Oh, dude, you're cannibals?
We survive.
What if it's a Mirelurk man? Hey, that would be a great name for a superhero.
Leave or die.
I'm not looking for trouble. I just need to find someone. A young man with white hair. You help me, I'll leave.
You won't leave. Ever. Where'd you go?
says the island's alive, and it's got it in for us.
I'll be straight with you. It's never easy to ask anyone on this island for help, much less a stranger. But I've got a responsibility to these people, and I have a job for you, if you're up for it. Besides, I know...
What exactly do you need help with?
We get our drinking water from a purifier not far outside of town. We had a bad storm not long before you got here, and it must have damaged the fog condensers that protect the road to the purifier. I sent Howard Dunbar out to fix them. He was out there when the Mirelurks hit us, and I'm afraid they might have got him, too. I was hoping you might go have a look. If the worst happened, maybe you could get those fog condensers back online. If you're up to it, just head south out of town. It's paying work, of course. I wouldn't ask a stranger to stick their neck out on our behalf, unless I was willing to pay a fair share for it.
Am I gonna need any tools or parts if I have to make these repairs on my own?
The fog condensers need their power modules replaced, but Howard took the only spares we had. Either way, you're gonna have to find him first.
All right, I'll head out there now.
Good. Our water supply won't last much longer.
Fresh shipment. All your medical and food needs.
It's time to settle accounts. You hear me, Island?
Keep saying to myself I should settle down someday.
Looks like Howard didn't make it. I'll have to repair the fog condensers myself.
keep going? I don't sleep or read or anything like that. If you need to, you do it.
The children of Adam are dangerous. Don't trust them.
Those fog condensers are back online.
Good. Our water supply was starting to get low. Wasn't sure how much longer we could hold out. Did you find Howard?
He didn't make it.
I should never have let him go out there alone. Well, I said it was paying work. 200 caps should be enough.
Is there anything else I can do to help?
Don't know if you've chatted up the Mariner, but she's always looking for help. I know Cassie Dalton was asking around, but... well, judge for yourself there.
Thanks. Glad I can help you out.
That makes two of us. Now, here's your pay. I've got to start making arrangements for Howard. So I'll say goodbye.
Big Chop's got everything you need.
I'll be damned if I give up on taking back.
Huh. The mainlander. Great.
You been to the tannery? You find my tools yet?
Folks, I'd like to take a moment for something a little more personal. As I'm sure you know all too well, I haven't always been the best at this job. Hey, let's face it, I've been pretty terrible. Thanks to the efforts of a few of my friends, I've decided to change how I look at things, how I live my life. I'd like to just take this opportunity to thank the Vault Dweller for lending me a hand. I really do appreciate it. All right, folks, that's enough sentiment from me. Let's get it on back to the music, shall we? Next up is Billie Holiday. Don't call her crazy.
gotta talk.
What's wrong?
Wrong? Oh no, nothing's wrong.
We've just been traveling for a while now, and I figured, especially after all that stuff with Dima, that you deserve to know more about me. So, there anything you want to know?
So who are you, Nick?
That's a question I've been trying to figure out myself for a long damn time. I know I'm a synth, authentic Institute handiwork, but I'm still mechanical, not bioengineered like the fancy synths giving everyone the willies these days. I get tune-ups now instead of checkups.
You remember when Dima was talking about the Institute's personality experiments? My memories, my personality. They're all lifted from some cop who volunteered for an experiment back before the war. They scanned his brain and copied it onto the hardware that runs between my ears. Don't know why they chose to make a robot based on some pre-war cop instead of a math genius or a bioengineer. But hey, maybe that's why the Institute tossed me in the garbage instead of turning me into one of their people snatchers.
Wait, the original Nick was from my time?
Sure was. Which meant when I finally ended up out here, it was quite the rude awakening. I remember waking up one day in a garbage heap, a body in tatters and a head full of memories belonging to a man who'd been dead for 200 years. Suffice to say, it was a confusing couple of weeks. Folks didn't really know much about synths back then, so when I finally ran into people, they mostly treated me with caution rather than hostility. But the kids, they weren't afraid. I think his name was Jim. The first person to actually speak to me after I got the boot from the Institute. My first human contact in this world. Grilled me for an hour. Once they'd seen I wasn't going to hurt anyone, the other folks in the neighborhood came out to ogle the mechanical man. It eventually turned into a pretty swell soiree. The local mechanic even gave me a once-over, free of charge. Those people, they treated me like a human being. I've been trying to return the favor ever since. It's a surprisingly rare trait out here sometimes. It's something I've noticed you got a fondness for. Part of the reason I've stuck around this long.
Where's that town? We should go visit.
I tried to go back and say thanks once I'd gotten myself established, but the place was wiped off the map. Raiders. Don't know what happened to the people.
You can't be that naive. You really think you were anything more than a sideshow to those people?
I don't doubt that's partly true, but they still treated me better than they had any requirement to. I think it's a lesson worth considering. Well, I expect you're about as bored as can be listening to me rattle my skeletons. We should probably head out.
Potato! This is what death looks like up close! Here it comes! We are unstoppable!
You been to the tannery? You find my tools yet?
Here are your tools.
A fair bit of luck running into you. Here's your reward. Well earned. And now to work on the hull.
With ordnance like that, one need to wipe out those claims. You're a specimen. Despite our friendly town doing its best to chase you out, you keep helping us ingrates all the same. I got to ask, why do you keep at us?
You're good people in some dire straits. Figured you could use a hand.
Huh? You running for office? Well, if that's the truth, we don't deserve it. Most folk here are set in their ways, yes? It makes no difference how hard you try to get in good. Heck, it took my family 3 generations before the Daltons would sell us a heel of bread. But there's a way. A downright insane way, mind you. You can turn even the most stubborn fool around.
I'll hear you out.
In olden times, leaders were chosen by something called the Captain's Dance. Legends say the toughest, meanest, and outright craziest hopers would chum the waters and lure out the worst the island could throw them. Once the would-be captain killed the Mirelurk Queen, or Fog Crawler, or what have you, they'd invite the whole island to feast off the bounty. You do this, well, you won't be made captain, but you'll earn respect. Everyone's respect.
So if we throw this dance, it'll really change their minds?
The dance hasn't been done in living memory. Some people think the tradition is dead, but its history is soaked deep in this island. You do it, and it'll turn heads for certain.
I'm ready to become a legend then.
You what? You crack me up. There's an old Mirelurk feasting grounds by Emmett's Causeway. A treacherous stretch along the coast. Go there and throw any kind of meat you got into the water. All that blood and viscera will be sure to attract attention. And then wait. I'll make sure there's a witness or two. Prove to the rest of these clods you belong.
Clean off this island.
You've had your blood today. I can't stomach any more of it.
All of you. Show's over. Go home.